thank you very much. It's my great honor to have the very popular, and by the way, great athlete, one of the greatest, but very popular Prime Minister of Pakistan. We have many things to discuss, military and terrorism and trade, and I think we're going to spend a lot of time talking about trade because we do very little trade with Pakistan compared to what we could be doing and should be doing when our countries really get along perfectly, and I think we're having that start. We're going to have that start. But there's tremendous upside with respect to trade. One of the things we're going to be discussing too is hostages, perhaps the polio vaccine, because Pakistan is one of the countries, and we'll talk about that as to what the feeling is on that. But we have a situation in Pakistan where we want to talk about the polio, the possible polio vaccine. And I think we've had great meetings. We're going to be spending a long time together. We have our representatives meeting right after we're finished, and we just came out, Mr. Prime Minister, with tremendous economic numbers for the United States, the best we've ever had. We've got the best economy we've ever had. And I think we can shift some of that over to Pakistan. We should be doing tremendous business together. So I look forward to it.
Inshallah.
And it is an honor to have you.
Yes, Prime Minister Khan, your comment, please.
Well, I've been looking forward to this meeting since I assumed office as Prime Minister of Pakistan. I mean, the United States is vital for Pakistan. We have links which have gone back since Pakistan became independent. We've been fighting wars together. First, Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, Pakistan was a frontline state, allied to the US, and then again the war on terror, which was after 9/11. So I look forward to my conversation.
Mr. President, Pakistan has been alive for 14 years in the Afghan war. So faced terrorism, faced economic disaster, and all that, and still we were taken to the court with all the accusations that Pakistan is not a responsible state. Now, when India and US has developed an alliance in the region, how you plan to foresight about the Pak-US relationship, how they can be strengthened when those preferences in India, number one, and secondly, after your campaign, what kind of promises?
That's a big question. I could go on for hours.
Thank you.
I will say that we have a very good relationship with India. I know that your relationship is strained a little bit, maybe a lot, but we will be talking about India as a very big part of our conversation today, and I think maybe if we can help intercede, do whatever we have to do, but I think it's something that can be worked out together. And we'll also be talking about Afghanistan. We've reduced our number of troops there by quite a bit. We are continuing to reduce troops in Afghanistan. We're working with Pakistan and others on getting an agreement signed, as you know. And we'll see what happens. But we will be talking about India and Afghanistan very much so.
The Washington Post is reporting today that Huawei had a relationship with North Korea to build their commercial wireless network. Have you been briefed on that? Do you have concerns?
I know all about it. I know all about Huawei. I know all about 5G, and we're working on it. And we have companies that are now getting very, very strong in that. We're going to have 5G. We're going to have the best 5G in the world, just like we have everything else. Our Silicon Valley cannot be competed with. There's nobody that can compete with Silicon Valley for the brain power, for what we do. And nobody was focused on 5G, but now they are. And we have great companies going into 5G, even if they don't want it to. I mean, a lot of them were very happy doing what they were doing. But now they're going, at my request, they're going into 5G. So we don't need anything from anybody.
You have additional concerns about North Korea?
What?
The Post is reporting about Huawei's relationship with North Korea.
Well, we'll have to find out. Our relationship with North Korea has been very good. We've really established a good relationship with Kim Jong-un. I have personally. There's no rocket testing. There's no missile testing. We're getting our remains back. We've got our hostages back. And we have a very, very good relationship, the two of us, and that's very important. There's been no nuclear testing. And what they're doing with 5G will be, you will have to do. I'll have to
Mr. President.
Say it again.
Sir, this is John Deswati from Airline University, Pakistan. Lindsey Graham, when he met Imran Khan, he says, we both are kind of same personalities. You are the president who fulfilled all your promises.
I do.
Campaign. And the same like Imran Khan, he's also fulfilling all promises. So how do you see this meeting, like same kind of person, straight to the point?
Well, I think we're going to have a great meeting today. I know that it's an important meeting. I consider this a very important meeting because I think we haven't met the potential of either country. I think the potential with Pakistan and likewise the opposite way. I think we have not even come close to meeting it. There is tremendous potential between our country and Pakistan. I think Pakistan is going to help us out to extricate ourselves. We're like policemen. We're not fighting a war. If we wanted to fight a war in Afghanistan and win it, I could win that war in a week. I just don't want to kill 10 million people. Does that make sense to you? I don't want to kill 10 million people. I have plans on Afghanistan that if I wanted to win that war, Afghanistan would be wiped off the face of the earth. It would be gone. It would be over in literally in 10 days. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to go that route. So we're working with Pakistan and others to extricate ourselves. Nor do we want to be policemen, because basically we're policemen right now. And we're not supposed to be policemen. We've been there for 19 years in Afghanistan. It's ridiculous. And I think Pakistan helps us with that because we don't want to stay as policemen. But if we wanted to, we could win that war. But what we did and what our leadership got us into is ridiculous. But we will. I think we'll have some very good answers on Afghanistan very quickly.
Mr. President over here. Mr. President, Pakistani Army. Yes, Mr. President over here. This is Mateen Haider. Yes. This is Mateen Haider from GTV Network, Pakistan. Pakistani Army has fought war against terror, and it has fought definitely and gave sacrifices in protecting Pakistan-Afghanistan border as well. But Pakistan's sincerity was always doubted. Coalition Support Fund was suspended by the US Defense Department. So at this time when Pakistani economy is facing great trouble, are you going to restore any package for Pakistan?
So we are going to. We were paying 1.3 billion to Pakistan as aid, working up for many years. The problem was Pakistan, this is before you, Pakistan was not doing anything for us. They were really, I think, subversive. They were going against us. And this is something we'll be I ended that about a year and a half ago, the $1.3 billion. And I tell you what, to be honest, I think we have a better relationship with Pakistan right now than we did. Very important. We have I consider this very important. We're working out things that are very, very important. And I think at the end of this, at the end of a very short time, we're going to have a very great relationship with Pakistan. And we should. It's a great country. They're great people. I have many friends from Pakistan. Living in New York, I have a lot of Pakistani friends, I will tell you that. And they're great people. Smart, tough. They are tough. There's no question about that. I'm not going to be watching, probably, maybe I'll see a little bit of it. I'm not going to be watching Mueller because you can't take all those bites out of the apple. We had no collusion, no obstruction. We had no nothing. We had a total no collusion finding. The Democrats were devastated by it. They went crazy. They've gone off the deep end. They're not doing anything. They're not doing health care. They're not doing infrastructure. They're not lowering drug prices. I'm lowering drug prices. First time in 53 years that drug prices went down last year. 53 years. And I'm doing that without the help of Congress, which makes it much tougher to do. Because if they worked with us, I could get drug prices down in half. But the Democrats don't seem to care about drug prices. All they care about is a phony investigation where the report was written. It said no collusion. The report was written, and the Attorney General, based on the report, was easily able to find there was no obstruction. There's no nothing. They're wasting their time. And Robert Mueller, I know he's conflicted. There's a lot of conflicts that he's got, including the fact that his best friend is Comey. But he's got conflicts with me, too. He's got big conflicts with me. As you know, he wanted the job of the FBI director. He didn't get it. And we had a business relationship where I said no. And I would say that he wasn't happy. Then all of a sudden he gets this position. But you know what? He still ruled, and I respect him for it. He still ruled no collusion, no obstruction. And this thing should have ended a long time ago. This has been going on for 2.5 years. And we're never going to allow this to happen to another president again, because most of us wouldn't be able to take it. On top of everything else, we have the strongest economy. We were just discussing this with the Prime Minister. We have the strongest economy that the United States has ever had. We have the highest stock market yesterday, literally, the highest stock market we've ever had on Friday, Thursday. We've broken the record, I think, 109 times for our highest stock market. But on, I believe, Thursday of last week, we hit the all-time highest in the history of our country. Our country is doing phenomenally well. Unemployment is the lowest in 51 years, soon to be the lowest in history, if it keeps going this way in a short period of time. Black, Hispanic, Asian unemployment, the lowest in history. Women, the lowest in 72 years. Nobody has ever done what we've done. Nobody's done in 2.5 years what we've done. The biggest tax cuts in history, the biggest regulation cuts in history, so many things for health care. We got rid of the individual mandate, which was the worst part of Obamacare. We're going to end up, if we end up winning the House back, we keep the presidency, we should keep the Senate, we should keep the presidency, I would think easy, when you have the strongest economy in the history of our country, and somebody's going to run against that particular president, even though in this case it's me. In theory, I have a big advantage. I don't know. I'm going to actually ask you. But in theory,
Mr. President.
So a lot of great things are happening. But the Democrats, they don't want to talk about that. They want to stay off the economy subject. And what they're doing is just hearing after hearing after hearing. It's nonsense, okay? They tried an impeachment vote, and they got slaughtered last week. They got absolutely slaughtered. It was the most ridiculous. I didn't even know they were going to do it. And I'll tell you, just in finishing, I have a lot of respect for the Democrats, because most of them voted against impeachment last week. And I have a lot of respect for those Democrats that did that, because they're doing the right thing for the country. No collusion, no obstruction, okay?
Mr. President, on can you tell us if there's a deal soon?
Yeah, we're talking about it. Secretary Mnuchin is talking about it. We're having very good talks with the Speaker of the House, with Nancy Pelosi. We're having very good talks with Chuck Schumer, and of course with Mitch McConnell and Kevin. We are, Kevin McCarthy, we are, I think, doing very well on debt. If you look at debt limit, however you want to define that, but we're doing very well on that. And I think we're doing pretty well on a budget. Very important that we take care of our military. Our military was depleted. And in the last 2.5 years, we've undepleted it, okay, to put it mildly. We have made it stronger than ever before. We need another big year. So we had $700 billion, we had then $716 billion, and this year we're going to be asking for a number slightly larger than that. We're putting our military back into a shape that it's never been in before. The best missiles in the world, the best equipment in the world, the best military equipment of all. We're building submarines, the finest. Nobody can even think about competing with what we're building. We're building, as you know, new submarines. We have a new aircraft carrier coming online. It's the largest ship in the world. It's so large that maybe I could even land a plane on top of it, okay? But it's a big one. President Gerald Ford. It's a phenomenal ship. So what we're doing is incredible things for our country.
Do you think would there be a deal today, sir?
I might say this about the military equipment. It's all made in the USA. Everything, 100%. It's all made in the USA, and you know, it's one of the reasons our job numbers probably are so good, lowest unemployment. Yeah.
Oh yes. Mr. President, will you be visiting Pakistan, as you described Pakistan as a great country? So he will be definitely extending you invitation. So would you be visiting Pakistan?
Well, I can't say that yet because so far he has not extended me an invitation. And after today's meeting, maybe he won't, but I have a feeling he might. Yes, I'd love to go to Pakistan.
Mr. President, Behzad Salimi here from Pakistani news channel Ab Tak. Is there any exact date or time frame of U.S. troops withdrawal is under consideration at your administration?
Hello.
Are you talking about from Afghanistan?
Yes.
Yeah, we have already withdrawn quite a few, and we're doing it very slowly, very safely. And we're working with Pakistan and with, as you know, we're negotiating with the Taliban. And we are doing, I think, very well in that regard. Again, it's something that we could do. We could go one of two ways. We could do a number the likes of which they've never seen before, and win it very quickly. I don't want to do that.
Mr.
I
President,
don't
coming
want to do
back,
that because you're talking about millions of people, and I don't want to do that.
Sir,
And
coming
we're
back-
working with Pakistan on getting a solution.
Mr.
And I
President,
think it's being worked very well. Would you say
Will there
so?
still be troops there?
Mr. Khan, can you respond to this question?
Well, I don't know, we're moving a lot of them out. and,
Do you want them to be gone?
We've
by
done
then?
what we were supposed to do. We've been there for 19 years, and we've acted as policemen, not soldiers. And again, if we wanted to be soldiers, it would be over in 10 days, 1 week to 10 days if we wanted to. But I have not chosen that. Why would we kill millions of people? It wouldn't be fair. In terms of humanity, it wouldn't be fair. So we're doing very well, and I think that Pakistan is going to be a big help.
Yes, Prime Minister Khan. Prime Minister Khan, so how would you like to comment on?
Say it.
What role do you see for India in Afghanistan? And Mr. Prime Minister, same question to you. What does India have a role to bring peace in Afghanistan?
You see, this is the closest we've been to a peace deal in Afghanistan. And there is no military solution in Afghanistan. There is no military solution because as Mr. President says, if you go all out military, there will be millions and millions of people who will die. So there is only one solution. And I feel, and I think we will discuss this, it's the closest we have been to a peace deal. And we hope that in the coming days, we will be able to urge the Taliban to speak to the Afghan government and come to a settlement, a political solution.
What the Prime Minister just said is a very big story, and that's 100% true. We've made a lot of progress over the last couple of weeks, and Pakistan has helped us with that progress, but a lot of great things are happening. A lot of things are happening for the United States, and I think a lot of great things are going to be happening for Pakistan too, under your leadership. I really feel that.
Thank you.
Are we closer to negotiations or to armed conflict?
I think Iran doesn't know where they are. I've been watching and reading a lot of reports, and right now they're a very mixed up country. They don't know whether they're coming or going. They have tremendous problems economically. Their country's in turmoil. They're having demonstrations all over Iran. Their inflation rate's at 75%. They have a lot of problems. So whatever it is, it is. I'm just going to sit back and wait. Let's see what happens.
What details
But I will
does
say
CIA have
they are doing very poorly as a country, and we'll see what happens. We did actually, because they said no, and you know, it's a religious country or religious leaders, but they lie a lot. We did shoot down. Unfortunately, we had to shoot down a drone. The drone came down. You know how it came down with a new technology that's actually quite amazing. But we took down one of their drones. Instead of saying, yeah, that happened, they lied. They say it didn't happen. So we have, there's a lot of proof. It's called, take a look at it on the ocean floor. Just go down there, take your scuba gear and go down there in the ocean. One of you would do that, you know. But we took down a drone. I think very importantly, I read a report today about CIA. That's totally a false story. That's another lie. They put out propaganda. They put out lies. I don't think Pakistan would ever do a thing like that, right? Pakistan never lies.
Definitely not.
But Iran does, unfortunately. So let's see what happens with Iran. We are ready for the absolute worst, and we're ready for sense too. So we are very geared up, and if they are really the #1 state of terror in the world. Now, I have to say they pulled back because their money is running very low. The deal that President Obama made was a disaster because it was such a short term. It didn't cover ballistic missiles, and they couldn't see the important sites. Under this, you couldn't inspect the important sites. There were many things wrong. And of course, they gave $150 billion plus $1.8 billion in green, beautiful cash. That's called many plane loads of cash. I think Pakistan would like to have some of that cash. But they gave $1.8 billion in cash, which is unthinkable. And instead of being respectful and thankful, which frankly they should have been to the United States and to President Obama for making that ridiculous deal, instead of being respectful, they put their finger up in the air, and this finger, the thumb. They put their finger up in the air, and they disrespected the United States. He shouldn't have done that. That was a big mistake. One of the best things they've done is terminate that ridiculous deal. If they want to make a deal, frankly, it's getting harder for me to want to make a deal with Iran because they behave very badly. They're saying bad things, and I'll tell you, it could go either way, very easily, very easily. And I'm okay either way it goes.
Mr. President, Kashmir is the flashpoint between India and Pakistan.
Are you from Pakistan?
Yeah, I'm from Pakistan.
I want to come from Pakistan.
Yeah.
I like them much better than our own.
On this side,
Question, 92 News, Khurram Shahzad. Question is, what do you think Pakistan could not deliver in 18 years, and you have so much hope now that it could deliver? What are those things that Pakistan
You
could
mean
deliver
what
now?
they didn't do to
They
get
couldn't
the
do
war?
it 18 years. they
Well, I
could
don't
do
think
now.
Pakistan,
Negative.
I don't think Pakistan respected the United States. I don't think Pakistan respected its presidents. And I think Pakistan could have done a lot. I think Pakistan could do a tremendous amount against, with respect to Afghanistan. They didn't do it, and I don't blame them because they were dealing with the wrong president. Who knows? But I think Pakistan could have done, they're helping us a lot now. I think they could have helped us a lot in the past, but it doesn't matter. We have a new leader. He's going to be a great leader in Pakistan. And we have a new leader here, sort of new, 2.5 years now, getting to be 3 years. Can you believe it? You're going to find time flies. But no, I think Pakistan could have done a lot, but they chose not to. That's because they did not respect U.S. leadership. Well, I'll let you know that very quickly. I'll
Yes.
let you know. I mean, I'm going to know soon. It's not going to be like a long-term thing. I figured things out very quickly. So the question was, that's probably the best question you've asked in a while. As I was asking Mueller.
Mr. President, Mr. President over here. Mr. President.
Last question. So I have to focus on that because that's such a good question. I think Pakistan is going to do a lot. I really do. I think Pakistan is going to make a big difference. I think Pakistan will save millions of lives in Afghanistan because I really believe they can.
Allowing these peaceful protesters to be beaten. Have you seen any of that footage? Have you been briefed on any of that? Do you have
Well, I
any message
have.
of Beijing and China and Hong Kong?
I know President Xi, we're working on trade deals right now. We'll see what happens. Meantime, they're paying us billions and billions of dollars of tariffs, which is fine with me. But I know that they're working. I know that's a very important situation for President Xi. And you could say what you said, but you could also say that he has allowed that to go on for a long time, and it's been relatively. I think it's been relatively nonviolent. Protests like it, where you have that many people. It looks like 2 million people. Those are big protests. But I think that I hope that President Xi will do the right thing. But it has been going on a long time. There's no question.
Yes, Mr. Prime Minister, over here, yes, first. Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. President made good remarks about Pakistan and said that Pakistan can help a lot to end the violence in Afghanistan. The dialogue process and reconciliation process. So what really Pakistan can do to bring peace, because you are also accompanied by your military commander, General Bajwa, and other security team. So what solution Pakistan, what strategy paper you have to push forward the peace and reconciliation process in Afghanistan and assurances to the US? Yes,
Well,
please.
number one, this is the longest war that the United States has ever fought. It's almost 90 years. Number two, I'm one of those who always believed that there was no military solution. Because anyone who knows the history of Afghanistan, you just have to look back at the history. There was always going to be a political settlement at the end. And I have to compliment President Trump, because he has now forced people to end the war, to have a settlement. And that's where I think Pakistan is playing a very important role, because Pakistan has a 1,500-mile border with Afghanistan, and all the areas where the trouble is, which is the eastern side of Afghanistan.
Okay.
So this is a critical time. I'm looking forward to my talks with President Trump. We have our military leadership here, because this is obviously a security situation. And what we want is understanding between the two countries. I can assure President Trump that whatever we will be saying will be we will be straight with them. There will never be any question of any doubt on Pakistan's intent, because apart from Afghanistan, the country that wants peace in Afghanistan more than any other country is Pakistan, because we get directly affected by it. And Pakistan needs stability. We have had 15 years of fighting this war on terror, over 70,000 Pakistani casualties.
Lost lives.
Over $150 billion lost to the economy. So we desperately want peace. And I'm happy that President Trump has pushed this forward. So we hope, I'm looking forward to
Mr. Prime Minister, we talked about the region. And apart from Afghanistan, there is another security threat in South Asia. And that is Kashmir dispute unresolved even by the United Nations and even by the US, who voted in support of that resolution in the US. Now, are you going to make any kind of submission and intervention of President Trump? And the same question to Mr. President Trump, is he going to play any role in that?
Okay,
I will be asking President Trump. It's the most powerful country in the world, the United States. It can play the most important role in bringing peace in the subcontinent. You know, there are over a billion and a quarter people in the subcontinent. They are held hostage to the issue of Kashmir, and I feel that only the most powerful state, headed by President Trump, can bring the two countries together. From my point, I can tell you, we have tried our best. We've made all overtures to India to start dialogue, resolve our differences through dialogue. But unfortunately, we haven't made headways as yet. But I'm hoping that President Trump would push this.
Mr. President, I was with Prime Minister Modi 2 weeks ago, and we talked about this subject. And he actually said, "Would you like to be a mediator or arbitrator?" I said, "Where?" He said, "Kashmir," because this has been going on for many years. I was surprised at how long it's been going on. And
70 years.
I think they'd like to see it resolved, and I think you'd like to see it resolved. And if I can help, I would love to be a mediator. I mean, it's impossible to believe two incredible countries that are very, very smart, with very smart leadership, can't solve a problem like that. But if you would want me to mediate or arbitrate, I would be willing to do that.
Yes, Mr.
But
Prime
I can tell you that right now, you will have the prayers of over 1 billion people if you can mediate and resolve this issue.
It should be resolved. So, but he asked me the same thing, so I think there's something. So maybe we'll speak to him, or I'll speak to him, and we'll see if we can do something.
Mr. President, even your
Because I've heard so much about Kashmir.
Yes.
Such a beautiful man. It's supposed to be such a beautiful part of the world. But
It's indeed a
right now, there's
beautiful
just
valley.
bombs all over the place. They say everywhere you go, you have bombs, and it's a terrible situation. Been going on for many years. If I can do anything to help that, let me know. Let me give you one thing on Afghanistan as an example. So a lot of you don't know this, but we dropped the largest non-nuclear bomb ever built in history. We dropped it in Afghanistan. We were getting ready to make many of those bombs. This left a hole that was, it took out a lot of the tunnels and everything else, but it left a hole in the earth that looked like the moon. It looked like a crater from the moon. Still there. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. People heard it 15 miles away. They said, "What was that?" It shook the earth. Non-nuclear, the largest ever made by far. And they were going to make many of them. And I said, "No, we don't have to. I don't want to drop that. I don't want to do that." So many easy solutions. That's actually the easy solution. And they'd come in and they'd say, "Let's have peace, but you don't have to do that." I think we're going to be very successful without having to go that route. And I have tremendous confidence in the Prime Minister.
Mr.
All right, one or two more. Go ahead.
Mr. Prime Minister.
This is the are you going to raise the issue of Dr. Shakil Afridi with Ian Imran? And here, question to you regarding the freedom of the press in Pakistan. There are a lot of curbs on the freedom of press, on the media, on the journalists. Can you comment on that?
Go ahead.
Pakistan press, to
Yes.
call Pakistan press as if there are curbs on it. Pakistan has one of the freest presses in the world. All you have to do is, since I've been the Prime Minister the last 10 months, I mean, the criticism I have received from my own press, unprecedented. So to say that there are curbs on Pakistan press is a joke.
Mr. Prime Minister.
Yes,
Wait a minute, wait.
Wait.
There's no way you're treated worse than I am.
Mr. Prime Minister, you are fighting, Mr. Prime Minister.
Shaquille Afridi. Are you going
You're gonna have to speak because I didn't hear your words.
Yeah, the question was, are you going to raise the issue of freedom or release of Dr.
Freedom of the press?
No, freedom of Dr. Shaquille Afridi.
The doctor who helped,
We will do that. We will do. We're talking about hostages. We're talking about hostages being held in various places. I've had very good luck with hostages, with North Korea, with many places. They've treated us with respect, and I appreciate it. Made a big difference. We have 2 or 3 hostages that we're talking about. That's one of the gentlemen that we have heard about. And we will be discussing that with many other subjects. Yes.
Dr.
Mr. Khan, are you?
President Trump, we will be giving you good news about the 2 hostages.
Thank you.
Mr. Prime Minister, you are
Are you raising the issue of Dr. Afia Siddiqui?
Are you going to raise the issue of Afia Siddiqui with the president?
So doing,
Go ahead. Ask it again.
on your piece, why are you escalating your feud with the 4th Congressman being racial tensions in Cincinnati?
Well, I think they're very bad for our country. I really think they must hate our country. I think the 4 congressmen we're talking about, the congresswomen, what they've said about Israel, what they've said about our country, when they talk about disgusting people, when they talk the way they talk, when the one mentioned that brown people should speak for brown people and Muslim people should speak for Muslim people, and you hear all this, it's not what our country is all about. No, I think they're very bad for our country. I think they're very bad for the Democrat Party. I think you see that, and they're pulling the Democrats way left. Nobody knows how to handle them. I feel they're easy to handle. To me, they're easy to handle because they're just out there. They're very bad for our country, absolutely.
Yes, Pakistan needs trade, not the aid. Mr. President.
No, there's no racial tension.
Mr. Prime Minister,
I had my
but
best numbers recently, and it's because of the economy and what I've done for the African American. When you look at the African Americans are doing better than they've ever done in our country. We're creating numbers. Look at the poverty numbers. Look at so many different. Look at the unemployment numbers. The best they've ever had. You know, we have fantastic relationships with the African American community. I think you'll see that. Certainly, you're going to see that in 2020.
Mr. Prime Minister,
Your critics say that you are going to win the 2020 elections, and you are obviously very confident about that. Same thing with Imran Khan. Sir, you are also having a big war against corruption in Pakistan. So can you just give us a little comment on that?
And
Well,
that war
I think
against.
he's going to win, and I think what's going to happen, of course, he's got a little ways to wait. But I'm going to campaign for you. I'm going to help him.
Mr. Prime Minister, yes, Mr.
Ali Imran representing Associated Press of Pakistan. Many experts say that economic progress is the best antidote to extremism and militancy.
I agree, and I think that's very true, and it's actually a very good question. The answer is yes. I see great trade with Pakistan, and I'm not talking about a little bit more. I'm talking about we could go 10 and even 20 times what we're doing right now. You know, Pakistan's a big country. It's actually a very big country, and they have tremendous product. They make great product. They make tremendous. I bought from Pakistan over the years when I was in the private sector. They make incredible product. They're brilliant people. They're hardworking people. I think we're going to have a fantastic trade relationship. I don't mean we'll increase it by 20%. I mean, I think we can quadruple it. I think you could go, I mean, literally, sounds great. You could go 10 times more, you could go 20 times more. Because what we do right now is not much, and we should do a lot. So I think that's going to be, and I also do agree that that has so much to do with great peace. Having a great trading relationship has so much to do with peace and extremism, in this case. I think we can have it. So I expect that we will, within a very short period of time, start having very significant trade with Pakistan.
Sure, are there any working level talks with North Korea scheduled at this point since you met with Kim Jong-un?
No, we just have a very good relationship, and probably they would like to meet, and we'll see what happens. There was a little correspondence recently, very positive correspondence with North Korea.
Between you or
Again, there's no nuclear testing, there's no missile testing, there's no nothing. I think we will, yeah.
What's the roadmap? What's the roadmap?
Prime Minister of
When they're ready, we'll be.
They're not ready.
One question, please.
Yes.
One question, please. Tariqa Zia from Live Pakistan. Will you raise the voice for Dr. Afia Siddiqui?
Well, things discussed, so that would be for afterwards.
Mr. Prime Minister, what?
We'll be discussing.
Mr. Prime Minister, what are your specific?
One of the provinces of Pakistan, Balochistan, where India is, and the people from there are going to Europe and other places, and they're getting getting asylum in India, which is actually an indication that India is helping those non-state actors to infiltrate in Pakistan and create that. And one of the guys Pakistan is holding, which was leading the network. So, do you think that the U.S. will be playing a role in stopping India to,
I think I can very well. I have a very good relationship with Prime Minister Modi, and I think we're going to have a phenomenal relationship with the Prime Minister of Pakistan. I do think that it's a two-way street. You say India is coming in and destabilizing Pakistan. India is saying that Pakistan is coming in and destabilizing. So there's a lot of room right there where we could meet. I think we
yes,
could meet.
Mr. President.
Yeah.
Step down right now.
One question
Did
from.
he step down?
Should he? He says he's not going to. He's not going to.
He's a terrible governor. I think you have an even worse mayor of San Juan. She's horrible. I think she's horrible. I watched her. My people did nothing but complain about her when we helped them with their hurricane problem. The mayor of San Juan, Puerto Rico, is a horror show. She's incompetent, grossly incompetent. At the same time, the governor's not good. So the United States Congress, you won't believe this, please close your ears, because this would be, gave Puerto Rico $92 billion last year for hurricane relief. Now, they haven't got the money, all of it, but they got a lot of it, but they're scheduled to get. The Congress of the United States handed them $92 billion. And that $92 billion is in the hands of incompetent people and very corrupt people. But the governor has done a terrible job, and the mayor of San Juan she's horrible. I think she's just terrible. She's so bad for her people. And I think the government of the United States, they have to be careful. I'm the best thing that ever happened to Puerto Rico, because we did a great job in Puerto Rico. They don't like to give me the credit for it, but we did a great job. I have many Puerto Rican friends. I have a real understanding of Puerto Rico. I've had jobs in Puerto Rico. I think the most successful, I owned the Miss Universe contest, the pageants, and we had them in Puerto Rico twice, and I'll tell you, we had tremendous successes. In fact, they said literally 100%, this never happens, almost, I think it was close to 100, but 100% of the island itself was watching. They liked those pageants. Now, I've had a great relationship with Puerto Rico. I'm the best thing that ever happened to Puerto Rico. But Congress has given them $92 billion. Pakistan could like some of that, but 92, not 1.3, because Pakistan is getting 1.3. $92 billion, and the money is squandered and wasted and stolen. And I'll tell you what, the senators are not happy about it, and Congress is not happy about it, because you really do. You have incompetent, totally, grossly incompetent leadership at the top of Puerto Rico. The people of Puerto Rico are great. And the people of Puerto Rico like me, and they should, because nobody's given them what I give them. But the leadership is corrupt and incompetent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Right this way,